Let the meeting come to order at 6:45. Roll call, Mr. Alvarez,
Here.
Ms. Gomez,
Here.
Mr. Macareno,
Here.
Ms. Lopez, Mr. Vasquez, we're all here. We can all please stand for the flag salute. Mr. Macareno, will you lead us, please?
Yes. Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome everyone to this board meeting. We go right now to 4.0, adoption of the agenda. 4.1, adoption of the agenda is requested as presented. I have one item. I want to have 13.5 to be put in closed session. Other than that, that's the only thing I have.
Move.
I have a motion on the floor.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez. Is that correct?
Yes.
With 13.5 going into closed session. Board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. What happened? Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. Do we need interpretation? Staff members, do you guys need interpretation? Administration, do you need it? Nobody? Okay, we're good to go then. We go to 5.0, consent calendar. 5.1, approval of the regular board meeting minutes, September 24th, 2024.
Motion.
Motion on the floor, who's second?
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any questions on that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0.
Abstain, sorry.
Correction is 4-0-1,
Sorry about that.
with Mr. Macareno abstaining. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
5.2, approval of release warrant dated September 26, 2024, in the amount of $1,417,444.13.
Move.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
Motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions on that item? not-
Actually, I do, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, ma'am, sir.
I have questions on 3 items. The first one is Dr. Jose Medina. What's that warrant for? As well as, might as well give them all up to you. Oh, on page 4. And on page 7, there's Crayson and Associates and Lozano Smith. I know that's for legal fees. Well, that one I don't even know. But Crayson and Associates.
So I heard Dr. Jose Medina.
Yes.
Dr. Jose Medina is world-renowned. He's been working with us for the last 2 years. We're partnering with him for the next 2 years.
Okay.
He's working with our dual language team.
I see, and, so he's been on contract with us for 2 years, and,
He helped us out this last year,
Uh-huh.
and he's gonna be working with us for the next 2.
okay, so this is for the next 2 years?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And also Crayson and Associates?
Crayson and Associates, can you give me the page number, please?
I'm sorry, page 7.
Mr. Melendez. Can you walk us through Crayson and Associates? This is the building.
Yeah, those are, so Crane Associates are for the projects.
Okay.
Actual inspections, the field,
Oh, okay,
imaging for underground, locating, and so on for projects.
all right, thank you so much. Okay.
Okay, we do have a motion on the floor, and we have a second. Any more questions, board members? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 5-0. We move on to 6.0, awards and presentation. 6.1, TCAG, approval of grant Walnut and Road 168. Michael, city manager for Farmersville.
Yes.
Welcome.
Well, thank
So-
you.
So
Thank you
board
very
and
much.
now principals, administration, everybody here, want to welcome Mr. Mike Schulte, he's Farmersville
Schulte.
City Manager.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
As many of you know from my last appearance here, which may have been the last board meeting, we are in the process of, and have been in the process of working on that roundabout at the corner of 168 and Walnut. And so I dropped off 11 by 17 drawings as far as our engineering has made it so far. We did have an engineering drawing, but I felt that this laying over the top of an aerial was more helpful and really showing the entire area for circulation. So along with this, if you go down to where Citrus is at Farmersville Boulevard, will be what's called the Hawk system, which is a lighted crosswalk system for that to handle traffic along there. And then we've had some conversations with the superintendent about bus stops and whatnot along these routes. And so we're considering all of these transit and circulatory issues along with this engineering and construction. The good news is that the funding is firm, and we have our funds at the city, and we received the TCAG, Tulare County Association of Governments grant, and so we're ready to start engineering, and we are engineering. And as I mentioned before to some of you in a discussion today with TCAG, the issue came up of what should be designed for the roundabout, in the middle of the roundabout. And we kind of collectively decided we would leave that to the school district. So if you want to do something, all of the principals can fight over which school gets to have it. You know, it can be an art contest. Whatever it is, you design it, we'll build it, is really what it comes down to. So we're very excited about this. We're very excited to be working with the school district. Some details on this are that it's, as you can see from the road, part of the issue here from a physical plant standpoint is just aligning with Road 168, which then puts the new road right over the top of the well. So we'll be having conversations with your facilities management staff about potentially moving the well or how to resolve that issue. So there are some physical issues. This also involves, you know, the road going down along the property here to the east. And so there are land acquisition issues. So we believe that, you know, if we had the land acquired and we knew what we were doing with the well, we'd be under construction next year. But it's more likely that we'll be under construction in 2026. But we're working on all the aspects of the land acquisition, getting all the engineering studies done. And once we get all the engineering studies done, then we'll go to engineering drawings. And as we go through this process, we will keep the superintendent and the facilities management up to date. And as if any more exciting pieces of this come up, I'm more than happy to present them to the council or to the board. I would like the board to know, since it's a full board tonight, the city is really excited about, I'm just gonna call it a new relationship. I love working with your new superintendent. I cannot stress how nice it is to have that energy and to have that foresight and the intellect all come together. It's matching up well for what the city's trying to accomplish, and we just can't wait to put, you know, Farmersville in conjunction with Farmersville Unified on everything that we do. So thank you for that. And if anyone has any questions, happy to answer them.
Mr. Alvarez?
Yeah, one of my questions is the restrictions on the roundabout limited because you're getting grant state, federal funds or whatever. Is it required and only roundabout, two directions in every location? There's no one ways allowed, one roundabout?
So the roundabout is, I presume it will be designed as, you know, what is that, counterclockwise? But the roadways are being designed to come into the roundabout as both in and out of the roundabout. The north side of Walnut Drive is not designed to be completed as part of this, nor is Road 168. So that's an issue that we're working on. We just received approval today from TCAG as well, conditional approval, I shouldn't put words in their mouth, for a circulation study. And so we'll be coordinating with the schools. We're doing a complete circulation study of really the entire area around all the schools and around the city, including Walnut, up 168 to Noble, which doesn't exist, across to the freeway, all the way down Noble, and then back down 160, 150, I get it, 156, I think. And then also, we're combining this, of course, with our downtown plans that we're working on and the traffic flows that we'll be working on there, as well as sewer and water lines and what our utilities look like. So we're looking big, long-term, 30 years out. What do we need to do? And so we really want to coordinate that with the schools as well. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, so the study's being done, so they will come up with a solution based on the study.
Yeah, the studies will
Right.
also be a recommendation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because our biggest issue is the Freedom School and bottlenecking everybody down to one spot, 3 different directions, boom. It's already tough enough as it is now, and having an additional road coming in the opposite way, it's gonna be a mess. So if they're gonna do a study on it, I'm sure they'll take a look at that.
Yeah, and one of the things that is really kind of up in the air right now is whether or not to allow Citrus to go back to being two-way traffic. And I don't think anybody's really made a decision on that, but it's part of the discussion. And my sense is this whole area is mostly school and then park. So really, I think we'll be leaning towards whatever advice the school board has on that. So we'll be looking for some advice and guidance
Yeah.
on how to resolve those issues.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Gomez?
No, my question was the same, because currently, right now, there's 2 ways in and only 1 way out. And then
Right.
that would be like for safety, and if any emergencies pop up and parents have to come in and out, we need to be able to have more ways out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the same issue for police and fire, and so we're looking at trying to resolve that.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Macareno?
Well, I'm very excited about all that you're doing with the city. I think it's a wonderful thing. You know, I phrase it as Farmersville Forward because that's something that we have not, you know, we've been stagnant for generations. So I see a lot of movement happening. And to see that relationship building with Farmersville Unified and the city of Farmersville, something that we should have been doing for a while, I'm glad it's happening now.
Thank
Now, and as far as the roundabout, you know, it's much better than where it was originally at Freedom Drive. Obviously, you're accommodating the needs that we have, our transportation bottlenecking, all that sort of stuff, which is great. And you also already addressed the beautification or artwork project. I think it's a necessary thing to live school spirit, community spirit, all that's so important in our community. So I thank you for all the efforts that you're doing and the continued efforts of downtown, et cetera. I just love to see all this that's happening. Now, I did miss your presentation 2 weeks ago. So I would like to have the opportunity to meet with you just for maybe 10, 15 minutes and just
Yeah.
kind of go over whatever you discussed 2 weeks ago, but,
Yeah, well, and I'll address that for all of the board members. I have a very, very open door policy. Your best bet is to call Rochelle. She's the city clerk. And if there is any time on my schedule that same day, she will get you in. And I'm available for it. I don't care if you come in with an agenda or not. You know, half the time people just walk in, and that's fine with me. If you walk in and my door's open and I'm there, I'm available. Everything else can wait. For you, Ruben, everything else can wait.
thank you
No,
so much.
I joke, but I am serious, and I think your superintendent can attest to that. I try to make myself really available to, I think this is an important partnership.
Excellent.
So.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes. Thank you very much. You're doing a lot of moving and shaking around here. One of the things that I'm always concerned with is, of course, our student safety. And so, I've mentioned it before, to open Citrus back going the other way and the crosswalk being so close, I can just see people trying to whip around and not see somebody in the crosswalk. And the other thing is, is this proposed to do a 2-way or proposed 1-way?
So right now, the traffic lanes are designed for two-way. Now, that doesn't mean that can't change. And candidly, if the school district said, you know, we would like to see this all circulate, you know, clockwise or counterclockwise or whatever around the school, I don't think we're gonna have an argument with that. I think it's really, and if the, you know, if the school board decides, let's try it one way and then let's try it the other way, we can do that too. We're flexible on this. We're trying to accommodate, I mean, this opens up a flow pattern for the city, but really this was designed as a way to assist the school district with the traffic circulation issues out here, really from day one. So for me to have an opinion on what I think traffic should be, I don't think my opinion should matter, candidly. So whatever you guys think is the right thing to do, we're gonna go with that.
I think that a time period in flow would work, and then 2 ways in football practice and all that other stuff.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
if it's flexible, I think.
Because I'm seeing that, you know, if parents start coming in the other way, then the kids they're gonna let the kids out on the wrong side of the street instead of trying to get back in the circle because they don't wanna be held up. So that's my only concern. I mean, if we do a time thing, that's fine, but, yeah, we need to figure that out. The other thing is, you know, that field right in front, which is a practice field. If there's a way we can make sure that there's some kind of barrier there in case a car kinda not makes the turn right there.
Yeah, of
Doesn't-
course, yeah,
Doesn't hit one of our,
yeah.
it's just open, so we need to make sure
Yep.
that our kids are protected from cars coming and going, and,
Yeah, no, good comment on that. I'll make sure it's there. But as far as traffic flow goes, I don't see us making any finalized decision on any of that without coming back to the school board. I don't see us making any finalized decision of any of this without us coming back to the school board. So just so you know, I look at this as something that we're doing strongly in conjunction with the schools. We won't make a move on this without you guys knowing.
and with the information you shared with us last time as to all the proposed new homes coming up, so you'd have to increase the amount of traffic if they choose not to take the bus, so.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I too am concerned about that. You know, it's that thing of you can't really fix a problem until after it's become a problem when you're on the government side of things, right? So 200, 400, 600 homes coming in, or at least starting construction next year, I think is gonna impact everybody.
Okay. That's my only questions, and so I really appreciate all you're doing, thank you.
Sure, yeah, no, thank you.
I appreciate your presentation. I'm
thank
just looking forward to seeing what the study comes up with.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
it's something that we've been working with for quite some time, and our relationship with the city has been good in the past. It just, nobody ever moved it forward. You know, now we have you here, so hopefully things are looking up and look forward to the future and what it looks like. But I do have one concern,
sure.
is the road Freedom Road, or Freedom Drive and Walnut Street right there in the corner.
Right.
There's where a lot of the congestion is at, especially in the morning. So that's something maybe the study can look at too, and maybe come up with some proposal or some recommendations, or how we can even deal with that.
Yeah, I believe that there have been some questions about what we will do if that becomes a problem or a bottleneck. And so I think that I want to say there's one or two alternatives drawn up for if that were to become a bottleneck. And because some of the pre-study materials have been done, as you know, or work has been done. But I'll have our traffic engineer pull that, and I'll get it over to the superintendent, because the back of my mind says there's something about that intersection that was planned, but I just don't recall what it was.
And one other issue real quick, and I was just looking at this. If, where the stadium is currently at right now, and in the east part is the stadium there, if we decide to put bleachers even going higher to make it reasonable, are we gonna have enough space to put that?
Yeah, so if
This here right here.
correct, so none of the property behind the stadium belongs to us currently. That's potentially gonna be an easement off of the, person that owns that field. So none of that, until it starts to corner into that practice field, does it become our property.
So I'll say this to that. Once we acquire that property, then the plan is for the road to go on the property that we acquired, not onto the school property. And the only area that it would be going onto the school property is that alignment for 168 where the well is. Now, that said, if in negotiations I can pick up an extra 20 feet to the east or something and give you guys some extra space, we're not gonna care what happens to that 20 feet. Maybe we deed that off to the city. So I'll keep that in mind as we roll through. This, we have not acquired the property, so maybe it's just a little bit bigger S than it is right there at the top, so.
We just need a few acres. so-
Just a few acres. You don't mind, John, do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Work that in, that'd be great. All right,
All right, thank you so very much.
Yeah,
for the
you're welcome.
presentation.
Everybody have a good
Thank you.
evening.
thanks for coming.
We move on to 8.0, public comment. Members of the public may address the board on any agenda item or other item interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board before and during the governing board consideration of the item. The board is not able to discuss or take action on any item not appearing on the agenda. Pursuant to board policy, the board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. Please begin your comments by stating your name. Superintendent Mendez, do we have any cards?
We do not have any cards.
At this time, I'll give the opportunity, audience, you guys have any comments you want to make at this time? Going once, going twice. Mr. Mendez, is you.
Well, good evening. I want to take the time, as I do every opportunity up here during the board meeting, to thank our administrators, our teachers, our staff for all their planning efforts to guarantee all Farmersville students are provided with effective daily instruction and for ensuring that every student is presented with the opportunity to learn. At Farmers Unified, we prioritize collaboration among students, staff, and parents to create a thriving educational environment. Our ongoing efforts include parent and guardian invitations. School sites are continuing to invite parents and guardians onto their campuses and to strengthen the bond between families and schools. Informational evenings. Schools are organizing sessions to keep parents informed and engaged in their children's education. Classroom and school site visits. We've had many opportunities to witness learning happening through meaningful and purposeful teaching. Collaboration. We're excited to continue our partnership with the city of Farmersville, as you guys heard Mr. Schulte, to address the meet the needs of the diverse needs of Farmersville Unified families. These initiatives are just the beginning of our commitment to building a collaborative and academically supportive school community. By working together, we aim to enhance the quality of life for all residents and drive positive and impactful changes in our community. To our Farmersville team, I see smiles. I saw nothing but smiles earlier today. Okay, and I don't know if it's because the Dodgers are winning right now or not. Okay, so continue being the amazing leaders and champions that students and parents expect from you. And great things are happening in Farmersville. Hashtag Farmersville up. I think there are a couple Giants fans. Because when I said Dodgers, people started to frown. So I think great things are happening. And so let's continue moving forward.
Very, very good. I like that. I really do.
I have a comment, if I could. You know, we had our Falls Festival this weekend, and we had a bunch of kids out there, probably 100 kids from the schools, which is great. We had the opportunity to raise money for several programs. I thought was great. And teaching our children what it's like to give back, and this is how we grow. And I think we're doing a great job. Teachers, I know you go above and beyond, believe you me, I know. But you do it with a good heart, and the kids are out there with the good hearts too, which is great. I appreciate you guys, definitely.
Moving on to 10.0, K8 issues. 10.1, approval of Farmville Junior High Falcon Pride Field Trip on November 2nd, 2024, Valley Children's Stadium, Hawaii versus Fresno State.
Motion?
We have a motion on the floor. Second, motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That carries 5-0. 10.2, approval of designate ELD training, Farmville Junior High, October 10th, 2024 in Fresno.
Move.
Motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions?
No.
If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. We move on to 11.0, high school issues. 11.1, approval of Farmville High School band trip to Porterville Veterans Day Parade and Band Orama on November 11th, 2024 in Porterville.
Motion?
We have a motion on the
Second.
floor. We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct?
Yes.
Second by Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Board members have any questions on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 11.2, approval of Farmsville High School band trip to Fresno State Band Day on Saturday, November 2nd, 2024, Fresno, California.
Move.
A motion on the floor.
Second?
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any questions? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 13.3, approval of Farmersville High School band trip to Tulare County Office of Education Anti-Bullying Symposium on November 7, 2024, Galaxy Theater in Tulare.
Motion?
Move.
11.2.
Did I say, I didn't say 11? Okay, 11.3. Thank you for the correction. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Motion by Mr. Alvarez. Do I have a second?
Mr. Macaroni?
Oh,
Mr.
second, sorry.
Macaron, okay. Thank you for correcting me, it was 11.3. We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Mr. Macarino, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any questions? Not all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, it carries 5-0. 11.4, approval of Farmersville High School guitar program trip to Freedom Elementary College and College of Sequoia and Blue Oak Academy on November 15.
Move.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct?
No.
No,
Ruben.
motion.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Motion by Mr. Macarino, second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 12.0 curriculum, 12.1, approval of LPAC 101, understanding the English language proficiency assessment for California on October 8th, 2024 in Tulare County Office of Education.
Move.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second?
Is that you, Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 12.2, approval of Project Clean Up at Spring Conference on October 24th, 25th, 2024, and April 3rd and 5th through the 5th, 2025, St. Mary College of California, Walnut Creek, California.
Move.
Motion on the floor.
Second?
Motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any question on this item?
No.
If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 12.3, approval of grant award notification for Community School Partnership Program Implementation Grant Cohort 3.
Motion?
Motion on the floor in a second. Motion by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
That correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, that carries 5-0. 12.4, approval of grant award notification for 21st Century Community Learning Center, CCLC, and a set. Do you have a motion?
Motion?
Motion on the floor, we have second.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Macarino, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any question on this item? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 4-0.
Say four?
5-0.
Okay.
Did I say 4-0?
He meant five.
Okay, we add the 1 to it, it'd be 5-0. Thank you.
4 plus 1, okay.
Am I losing it? I think I am, huh? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's getting
Yep.
closer and closer.
Five fingers, just remember you have 5 fingers. We're good.
12.5, approve a TECO College and Career Technical Educational Incentive Grant, 2024-2025, Agreement 250464, Round 9.
Motion?
Motion on the floor.
Second.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez. Is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 12.6, approval of 2024-2025 school plan for student achievement for Farmersville High School and Farmersville Junior High School.
Move.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
Motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Ms. Gomez. Is that correct? Board members, I'm sure you took all weekend to read this, right?
Yep.
Good enough. That being said, board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 12.7, CTE pathway presentation.
Yes, members of the board, staff, community, we have Ms. Selene Medina,
Yes,
CTE coordinator.
good evening, everybody. So I'm going to start off by apologizing for the length of the presentation. It's a very, very general presentation, but I was trying to guess what kind of questions I was gonna get. So I hope that it answers most of the questions that you may have. You'll have an opportunity to like ask questions at the end, but I kind of prefer if you ask me as I'm going.
Okay.
So, let me see. I don't know how to switch this. No.
Tap it, turn around, jump on.
Michael, do you have the ability to do it from there? Ms. Medina?
What button, Michael? No.
Ms. Medina, do you mind if maybe Mr. Grace
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
forward it for you?
Batteries.
I take it this isn't a pathway. Okay.
So, I guess, so that you know why I chose, since, we're waiting. These are the pathways, so there's different sectors in pathways. These are the sectors that our high school represents. So it's their little, like, logos, I guess, for each. Oh,
There you go.
I should have done that before.
Ooh.
It wasn't working, I swear.
He's got the magic touch.
There you go.
Okay, so this is just the general definition of CTE. For those of you that don't know what CTE is, it's Career Technical Education. It's also referred to as CTE. It provides students with the academic and technical skills, knowledge, training necessary to succeed in the future career and become a lifelong learner. CTE prepares learners for the world of work by introducing them to workplace competencies and makes academic context accessible to students by providing it in a hands-on context. That last one is like the biggest thing on CTE, giving the students hands-on experience and integrating both academic and work. So Farmersville Unified currently offers 9 pathways. We represent 7, so 9 pathways, 9 sectors, 7 pathways. Sorry, maybe I should read off of my slides. So in total, California has 15 industry sectors. We only have the 7. So ornamental horticulture, it's a 3-year pathway. We have animal science is a 3-year pathway. New media, 3-year. Video production, 2-year. Business management is a 2-year. Food science, 2-year. Construction, trades, 3 years. Welding, 3-year, and public safety, 2 years.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Why don't we have the 15?
So that has to do with our student population.
Okay.
And we only have 720 students.
Yeah.
So the state requires a minimum of 2 years for a pathway to be considered a pathway. So it's our student population.
Okay.
So we need to increase our student population so that we can offer more programs, because then we can share more of the love, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. So, certifications. Okay, so I'm gonna go on the certifications that we currently offer. But just so that you know, all of our pathways are currently working at increasing the level or the amount of certification. So the way that we're doing that is we're looking at what surrounding schools offer. So if, for example, Visalia offers ornamental horticulture, like what certifications are their students getting? What are our students getting? And if there's something that our students aren't getting, what do we need to do in order to get there? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's for all pathways. So we're looking at how do we improve the certification and the quality of pathways.
Excellent.
So for ornamental horticulture, right now, we currently have 2 certifications that come from Agaline, floral certification and the OH certification. For animal science, we have youth quality care of animal and a show smart. Am I missing any, Mrs. Moran? New media. So new media, right now we only offer our graphic design. I did include web design in there because there have come questions about web design. We did have it at one point, but because of student interest, it no longer exists. But I wanted to make sure that if you had a question as to why, if you remember it, why it's not there anymore, that's the reason for it. So right now we have new media. And so in this pathway, our students are receiving Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe After Effects. The teacher is also working on certification in coding, some codes. Business management, our students are receiving Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Excel. For our food science, this pathway is just the Serve Safe. It's the food handler certification. For construction, we have OSHA 10 and forklift. So for construction and welding, I just kind of wanted to touch a little bit on those because I know that in the past we did offer the NCCER and we moved away from NCCER. The reason for that is NCCER is recognized more so in the East Coast. OSHA 10 is recognized more in the West Coast. And being that we're in the West Coast, we decided to look at certifications that our local community colleges or programs honor, and OSHA 10, just everybody was moving in the OSHA 10 direction. So we also adopted now the OSHA 10 certification. By moving in this direction, it also allows our students to do a lot more project-based learning. NCCR focused a lot on like the technical application. So for example, the way that it was explained to me for welding, they focused very much on the technique of welding and perfecting it, versus OSHA 10 gives the students the opportunity to do more fabrication. So they can build trailers. They're not spending 2 to 3 years just welding, perfecting a weld. They're putting projects together. And it's more of aligned to what employers want to see. They want to know that a student can actually put things together and not just know how to weld, if that makes sense. So our teachers are currently still using some of the NCCR curricula. They're just integrating it, you know, because there's some good stuff in NCCR, but they are slowly kind of moving away from it and trying to focus on giving our students the OSHA 10. Any questions on
Yeah,
those?
so what does OSHA stand for?
I don't know. I don't know. I can find out. I'll email it. I don't know.
He knows it.
I know. I know. So we are also offering the forklift certification. This is more for students do have to be 18 years old, and our adult school. So our students go to the adult school to get that forklift certification. But our teachers are communicating with that administrator to get as many students as we can certified. It's gone really good for our students. We have some students who are working in warehouses getting paid good money. We have public safety. Currently, our students are receiving CPR certification through our public safety pathway. And then that's supposed to say meet our instructors. So yes, that's Mrs. Moran. So, Susan Moran, I put in, I'm not gonna go over all of the teachers' credentials, I just put it in there just in case, cause I also, know that there was some questions about teachers' credentialing. So these are just the teachers' credentials and what they're, authorized to teach by subject. So, the first one is Mrs. Moran, and Mrs. Westbrook. So there are our instructors for agriculture, for our agriculture pathways. Lisa Preheim does our business pathway. We have Michael Barcelos, who is our arts, media, and entertainment teacher. Mr. Benitez, also arts, media, and entertainment, but his focus is on video production. And then we have Jenna Wyatt. She's new to CTE. She replaced our foods teacher, Mrs. Aiken. So her credential for the food science culinary says in progress because she's going through the process with Tulare County to add the food service credential. Joseph Romero, he is our construction teacher. And then Daryl Hirschler also came new to our staff last year, and he is our new welding instructor. Mrs. Bourne is our public safety. So this is just some quick data. Ignore the fall semester. Sorry, I don't know why it says fall. So it's just this year. So this year we have 711 students that are enrolled in Farmersville High School. 559 non-duplicated students were enrolled in a CTE program. So that is 79% of our student body is in a pathway. A little bit about the grants that fund our programs.
Well, why do we have students that aren't enrolled in CTEs?
So most of the students are enrolled in a CTE pathway their freshman year. If they happen to not be, it honestly probably has to do with the student. We have to prioritize our things. For example, if they're in special ed and need, we called it study skills class, in order for us to meet their instructional minutes, that will take one. And if they're an English learner, there's no room for a pathway. So another reason, like if they're juniors or seniors, if they are not in a pathway, it probably has to do with, in California, a pathway could give student credit in different areas like elective, but some of them might give it in art or biology, just depending on the subject, right? But for some of our students, like the juniors and seniors, if they don't pass one semester of a pathway course with the C- or higher, they can't move on to the second year.
Right, yeah.
So, and if some pathways, like say for example, they're interested in, let's just say like construction, and they're a junior. Junior year, they're like, I really want to get into construction. They cannot get into that pathway because it's a 3-year pathway. They're a junior. They will never be a completer. Does that make sense? So student grades. So we're trying to work on that, like in counseling. I'm trying to meet with students. We're trying to do like every 2 weeks, meet with students, look at grades, the grade books, and see what students are not, getting that C, probably need a little bit more like motivation. Trying to contact parents before the 6-week mark. So some of it, I mean, we're going to try and do a little like what do you call it? Like enhance our advising and our checking with the students to try and if it is a grade thing, try and fix that.
So I would say then the challenge is finding the pathway at the junior high, so when they get here, they know which classes to take. Otherwise, they miss the boat, right? Okay.
There's some ideas that have that we've kind of shot out there, maybe because we do presentations at the junior high, but we do definitely, I think as a district, need to explore a better options of getting students to get that experience, I guess, at the junior high before they come over to the high school so that they, hopefully are into our pathways when they do arrive.
The
Um,
Funding sources. We have several funding sources.
yes.
Are
So,
are we utilizing all the funding sources?
Yes. So right now, I'm currently working on, CTIG 8 was a grant that we were working on spending last year. We were reimbursed some because as I came into the position, there was some money left over on Perkins. So we made a lot of changes. So there was a lot of money that was spent, for example, on CTIG. Perkins had money, so we swapped the expenditures to spend all of Perkins because that one closed out the summer. For CTIG, they have a grace period of October 31st, so that gave me a few more months to spend the money. So I got because I managed it, but we got reimbursement of about $54,000, and so I'm still trying to spend that money. But yes, we are working on spending it. We want to spend it.
Perkins is this still locked in at 38,000 or something like that, or is it very, it's been like that for years?
Perkins for this year, 39.
39, yeah, so, we're basically going after every cent we possibly can, and there's nothing else out there?
As of right now, no. However, there was, as grants come up, I have let our county office know that we are interested in pursuing grants, especially ones that hopefully don't have a match funding and the district doesn't have to put in so much
Yeah.
money into them. We want to pursue grants that are just, free money, and our district, it's not gonna cost our district any additional money. But yes, we are working at spending, our money.
Yeah.
So CTIG 8, we're close to spending it, just wanting to make sure that we spend it on things that we actually need and not just do spending just because we need to spend it. CTIG 9, this year we received $196,000 for CTIG 9. And I have up until June 30th to spend that. We have K-12, Stronger Workforce 5, also have up until June. And tonight, hopefully, round 6 of K-12 is approved, and then that's additional money there. We have Ag Incentive up to June 30th, and then Perkins June 30th.
That's a cute note up there.
Oh, yeah, stay on top of it. Yeah. CTIG 10, we just applied for CTIG 10. Still trying to spend CTIG 8, but planning for CTIG 10. Another grant that is new is the TKCCC SCJVCK 16. So this one is more.
Can you say that again?
I know, right? I know. So we submitted the application last year, actually, and it's a collaborative grant with Fresno and Tulare County, and no match is required, right? And it's for like professional development and stuff like that, like how to enhance our programs and make them high quality. K-12, 6, hopefully will be board approved today. Just wanted to put a little bit of information on our teacher externships. So like our ag teachers, I just want to give credit to our ag teachers. They had a review for the Ag Incentive Grant, and Dr. Gonzalez and I met with is she a director?
She's regional supervisor.
A regional
State
supervisor.
regional supervisor.
Their report card came like A+. They're doing a really good job. They met their marks in every single thing. And they work really hard. Sometimes it kind of takes somebody, unfortunately, to come and really like praise the work that they're doing, and then to sit down and actually look at all of these hours and competitions, and they're placing high in almost everything that they do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have heard our students present. Like, they're amazing at presenting,
Yeah.
And so that's all thanks to the work that they're doing. So they made us very proud.
They take public speaking to the next
Right?
level.
To the-
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And I just wanted to add that I'm so impressed with the ag, their presentation, their ability to just be up there, and they're so organized. It makes me very proud to have that program here, along with also, all the other programs are great too, but the ones that I'm aware of, like the video and all that, it says, speaks a lot about what we're trying to do with our students, and I have to applaud the success that we see. I think it's just awesome, you know.
You know, I had the honor to attend the fair, the ag fair this year, and the day that I went, Farmersville just kept winning competitions.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that was very nice to.
You're like, I work there.
Yes, you're working.
It's
Yeah.
a parent, like, that's my kid.
Yeah.
Their commitment to their students show, if they're willing to take their students to a Kiwanis meeting at 6:30
Oh,
in the
yeah.
morning,
Yeah.
so that they get practice in their public speaking, that's
Yeah.
just amazing.
That's-
I also went out to the fair when, one of the ladies was showing, I don't know, is it a bull, a heifer? I don't know, it was a big thing. And I think,
Was it black?
Yeah.
The replacement heifer, replacement heifer.
well, I think she did better than the winners, because she didn't have to yank on that
Yeah.
animal as hard as the other guy was having to do to keep it in. But they said she misstepped, that she was not, you're supposed to have the animal step with you?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's like, come on,
Yeah.
I can't get somebody to dance with me. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, heifer.
Yeah. So these are just some of, you know, the conferences that our teachers attend to make things like that happen, to give our students those opportunities so that they are develop themselves to come and then teach that to our students. We have one that I wanted to note that's not in ag, our TK CCC K-12 Stronger Workforce 6. That grant is more specifically for welding and construction, and the what is it, like the consortium, the grant board, would like the teachers to get professional development from people in the industry. So the background to that is that they are saying that our teachers sometimes have been out of the industry sector, so they want, it's kind of mandatory training that they have to attend, because people from the industry are going to kind of give them up to date, put them up to date with the new best practices and what they're really looking for. So our welding and construction teacher will be going to about 6 trainings this year for them. Okay, so some current partnerships that we have going on. We still have a partnership with HEAL program. So Ambar Rodriguez, I don't know if any of you board members remember Mrs. Ambar, but she was a history teacher at our, why does it look like that? She was a history teacher at Farmersville High School, and she sits in the board for Kauai, there you go, for Kauai. And so she has allowed our students, or partnered our students with doctors, so our students are getting to go to Kauai. They get about 80 hours of internship experience, and they're working alongside doctors, and they're doing simulation labs, they're dissecting animal pigs, I think it's what the kids were saying. So it's getting them that exposure. Most of the students that do participate in this program are also in our animal science pathway, and that's because those are students that are inclined into the medical field. So we do recommend students who are interested in the medical field to join our animal science, our vet tech pathway, because they get to give animals vaccines, the animals give birth, and you know, all that
You get
stuff.
to pull
So
the
it
heads
gi-
off
yeah,
the
it gives
chickens
them
and they
that.
love it. No.
And then even terminology, you know, the FFA component, that public speaking, it prepares them to work in a team. The competitions also make them, they just bump up that resume for our students. And so these are the students that are going into our HEAL program, and it's our juniors and seniors.
Is there ever an opportunity to open up the animal vaccinations to the public, like for practice for them? Like,
liability is.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, you have to have a certified person to do shots.
Okay.
Even though most are not qualified to do shots, but if something happened, it's liability.
No, thank you.
We have a partnership with Proteus at Farmersville High School in DCA. Right now, currently, we have 8 students on internships, and I have another 6 who are in the process. So the jobs that they're doing they vary. These are not pathway specific. These are just job opportunities for students. So it could be a student helping like our maintenance or helping in the office. I believe over the summer, we had about 3 or 4 students helping with maintenance. The Department of Rehab is it's the same person, but it's 2 different programs that they oversee. The Department of Rehab, this program is specifically for students who have a 504 or an IEP. So that grant wants these students to have work experience once they leave high school. So right now we have 6 students who are doing internships through them. We also have, I don't know if you guys have heard, Mr. Benitez is doing a lot of commercials out in our community. And so the donations that the businesses make for the job are going into his ASB account and putting it right back into his program. So continuing to give our students those internships and to grow his program. The dream for local businesses like our flower shop, hopefully our students can, maybe our OH students can start like internships there. Maria is a partner for us for the K-12 grant. So a letter was required from her, and I went to go visit her at her flower shop, and she was telling me that she's hoping that flower shop is now gonna be like a shopping center there, and it's gonna be a 2-story, shop, and so she's really excited. I mean, we're excited because she's always been a huge supporter of our students, and she would like to get students to internship with her. So that's in hopefully the near future. Hopefully we can join the National Job Shadow Day annual participation. I have to get more guidance myself from Tulare County on exactly how to organize this, but I would like to be a part of it. Summer programs, Proteus, just kind of continues on, but if there is funding, hopefully we can do some things with the after school, maybe getting some jobs in the cafeteria, City Hall, for students, and so, just a place to start.
Yeah.
So for CTE, in order for the state to consider our pathways to be highly qualified pathways, they do require that each pathway or sector have a advisory committees. So these are people who are in the industry coming and telling us what they want to see our students leave school with. So what kind of skill sets, what kind of certificates, how can we improve our facilities? Our ag program right now is the only program that has what is considered a highly qualified advisory board. The others, because of COVID, I don't know, but hopefully this November, we're waiting. So ag is going to have their 2nd advisory board meeting in November. When that date is determined is when the rest of the pathways are going to follow. We're going to use them as a model. So, to be determined, but sometime in November. This is just like student competitions. Right now, the only one that is pending is a student competition for welding, and this is so that students can get the certification's coming up in the next slides, but it's a certification that our students will be able to obtain if they place high enough. Career Day, I have to advertise guys, that career day is April 11th. So save the date if you guys can make it out to the high school. We are planning career day April 11th. These are some of the competitions that our agriculture sector teachers have. They're full. So, but if you guys want like a hard copy of the competitions that they're attending with the dates, I can always get that for you guys.
Could we put those in our calendar,
Mm-hmm.
school calendar?
Just
Oh,
send us-
uh-huh.
Send us a copy, so we'll
Okay.
make sure we'll put it in the calendar.
Okay. Twelve essential elements of a highly qualified college and career pathway. So it's just student center, student equity. So making sure that all of our students, or that we're making efforts for all of our students to be successful in completing CTE pathways, giving them access. So this would be like, for special ed, just making sure that if a student wants a pathway, we're not putting any barriers for them. Leadership at all levels. We want all of our students to be, to show leadership, kind of how our ag students are already doing. Our curriculum, high quality curriculum, CTIG, is a huge funding source for us, and they are stressing the high quality curriculum this year. So Dr. Gonzalez and I met individually with each one of our CTE teachers, and we reviewed their pathways, we reviewed their curriculum, we reviewed, what their goals are. If they didn't have advisory committees, we talked about the importance of that, because in order for us to continue to receive grant funding and for our students to leave the program with the skills that we say they're gonna leave, we need to make sure that we stress the high quality of a pathway. Skilled instruction. So this with teacher development, continuous teacher development for all of the CTE teachers, career exploration for students. So this could be like internships. We have students that are not only in just one pathway, but different pathways. So kind of giving them that exploration. Appropriate use of data. So using data to guide our decisions as a school site and district. Cross-system alignment. So this would be something that I would like to start with the junior high. Right now, agriculture is the only pathway that is at the junior high, so that would be a good model for us to start aligning and hopefully integrating more pathways, or at least exploration at the junior high level. Intentional recruitment and marketing, we're working on that. Sustaining investments and funding through mutual agreements and strong partnerships with the industry, also working on that. So this is just a brief, hopefully, explanation of our courses, because for pathway courses, the first year, second year, and third year they have like a term that they use. I just wanted to share that terminology with you guys. So the first course in a sequence is the introductory class. It's also referred to as the core and foundations courses. The second course in the sequence is a concentrator or capstone. So you can hear about it in those two. And concentrator and a capstone classes are more hands-on with the possibility of internships. Pathway completers will earn certificates of completion and graduation stoles. So you guys have all attended our graduation. Our students get those colored cords. So each pathway, each color represents a different pathway.
When you say first course, is that semester or for that,
Year.
the entire year, semester?
Year.
All year, okay. And as far as, the pathway, is that just one course per path per year?
No. So it has to be a minimum of 2. So
Okay.
we have some 2 years and we have some 3 years.
Okay, got it.
This is just a visual of how our so like ornamental horticulture course 1, intro to ag, ornamental horticulture 1, ornamental horticulture 2, and then some of the possible occupations for animal science. Again, intro to ag, vet 1, vet 2, and then the possible occupations with the recognized certifications there again, just. We also, so, starting here, we do give this presentation out to students as well. Whenever we do recruitment, we kind of have it going. Digital media. So right now we have graphic design, New Media 1, New Media 2. Film is only a 2-year though. So film is film 1, film 2, completer. So for film though, we do have Mr. Benitez who teaches a concurrent enrollment class, so it's a college class after school. It's through COS, so the way that COS courses work, they're not year-long, they're only semester-long, so he teaches 2 graphic design classes. The first one that he teaches in the fall is Graphic Design 100, and in the spring, Integrated Graphics 111. So something in the works for him, he is now concentrating more into the video production. COS does not have a video production program, but Porterville College does. But because College of the Sequoia, we're part of their district, I have to get permission from College of the Sequoias to allow Porterville to employ him and it count for our students. So that's in the works, because he does want to teach video production so that students can get video production, Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects. This is business. So business is 3 years, business, comm, and tech 1, and then business 1, business 2. We have accounting there because we have had it in the past, but because students, their senior year, if they started pathway, like a 2-year pathway, their junior year, it kind of dropped the accounting numbers. So we're hoping that in the future, with the increase in student enrollment that we hope we're going to have, we can hopefully have the numbers to bring accounting back, because it was a very, it was a good class for the students to have. Okay, building trades, it's a 3-year building trades core, RCC 1 and RCC 2. For building trades core, something that the teachers, so Mr. Hirschler and Mr. Romero explained to us, to the counseling department, was sometimes in the introductory course, because one focuses more on construction, while the other one focuses more on like the welding, the students, it was hard for them to jump from the beginning introductory course, even though it's called the exact same thing. The context that they were getting was a little different. So it meant that when students, if say for example they were taking a class with Mr. Romero, welding, if they wanted welding, there were some skill sets that they were kind of missing. So what we decided to do is one teacher, they're gonna teach exactly the same thing, but they're gonna swap at semester. So that the students can get those specific skills that they want, so that then they can choose more effectively whether they want to go into construction or welding. Oh, okay. So Mr. Hirschler, building trades core, welding 1, welding 2. Again, just because of the things happening, welding 3, we were not able to, we didn't have the numbers to offer welding 3, but hopefully this year it's looking pretty strong and we'll be able to bring it back next year. For our food, science, and culinary arts, Mrs. Wyatt, it's just a 2-year pathway, foods 1 and foods 2. Public safety, also 2-year, public safety 1, public safety 2. Just something to, I guess, share with you guys. Whenever it is a 2-year pathway, it allows students, like say their freshman year, they take public safety 1 or foods 1. If they can skip, they have to take them sequentially. Like they have to take the first part first. They can't take like welding 1 and welding 2 at the same time and count for the state. It has to be welding 1 year, welding 2 another year, a separate year. Does that make sense? But let's just say a student starts public safety 1 their freshman year, and then they don't get back into it until their senior year. That's allowable. Or they started their junior year, and then they can complete it their senior year. That's just an example, but for the 2-year pathways, that's kind of how it works.
Oh.
It allows students to start something their junior year. The presentation's kind of long, so I don't know if you guys want to watch the video, because it's, I don't know. Do you guys want to watch the video? No? Okay.
No, we're good.
Questions or comments?
You know what, I'm very, very impressed. I mean, you're on fire on this thing, and you've answered all of my questions. I just want to make sure that we're listening to the children and get them in the right pathway, and how important that is. My granddaughter changed her major when she was in 8th grade, coming to the high school. She changed her major, and now she's headed to Northridge, LA for computer programming, so it's great. You're on it, so thank you very much.
Any questions? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Moving on, 12.8, approval of TCO College and Career, TKCCC, K-12 Strong Workforce Program, SWP 6, 2024-2025.
Motion?
A motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Alvarez, second by Ms. Lopez, is that correct?
Yes.
Board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 13.0 personnel. 13.1, approval of certificated personnel, item 13.1.1 through item 13.1.6.
Move.
Motion on the floor.
Second?
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez. Board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, carries 5-0. 13.2, approval of classified personnel, item 13.2.1 through item 13.2.3.
Move.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez, is that correct? That being said, board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 13.3, approval of extracurriculum activity coaching personnel, item 13.3.1 through item 13.3.10.
Move.
A motion on the floor.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Macarino, is that correct?
Yes.
That being said, board members have any questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that carries 5-0. 13.4, personal action report information only. Board members have any questions? If not, we move on to the next one, 13.5, that's going into closed session. We move to 14.0, board business. 14.1, consideration of any item any member of the board wishes to have in the future agenda or provided written update. Mr. Alvarez,
Nothing at this time.
Ms. Gomez,
Nothing.
Mr. Macarino.
I think with the talk of potential growth in the city, is the growth going to be within the Unified School District jurisdiction, or are we going to have to do annexations or what?
Both.
Okay, so that is, okay, so,
And I do have a map that he did leave, explaining all that, so I
Oh,
can
okay.
get that to you by the end of today.
Okay.
And this evening.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't have any.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lopez?
No, thank you.
I don't have anything at this time as well. Thank you. 15.5, business services. 15.1, arts, music, and instructional material. Disciplinary block grant expenditure report information.
Yes, members of the board, we have Mr. Edgardo Monroy.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members. So this was a follow-up request. Ms. Gomez inquired about this a couple of board meetings ago. So as soon as I get this here. All right. So I want to provide you with a summary of where we are with this grant. This is a grant that we received 22-23, and we started spending it last year. It's a one-time grant, so we've received all the funds. But just to give you a description of the grant, it's the Arts, Music, and Instructional Materials Discretionary Block Grant. A lot of the schools that receive these funds opted to start to fund arts and music programs. Kind of concurrently, Prop 28 passed. And so it raised questions about how school districts were going to utilize these resources. And so I'm going to go over how we're utilizing these. So the description that you see here gives you some of the different categories that these funds could be used for. Here at Farmersville, we're using them for operational costs. So we received $1,411,731. The funds do expire June 30th of 2026. And the board did approve a plan, and so I'm going to share that plan with you, which was board approved September 12th, 2023. And so this is the plan that was approved, and so you can see that we had designated in year one, 23-24, to spend $260,000 in the operational costs. We are using this for one of our positions. It's the state and federal program coordinator. And then there are some supply costs, and so you can see that we had allocated $200,000 for a total of $437,000 last year. And then for this year, we had planned some additional expenses at a tune of $487,000. And for the final year, for another $487,000. The next slide, I'll show you what we've actually spent. And let me know if you have any questions. So last year, we did spend $129,000 in salaries and benefits for the position that's allocated here. $91,000 in materials and supplies, $2,600 in professional learning, and then $12,000 in indirect costs. So slightly below what we had planned in the expenditure plan. This year, we're projecting to spend $343,000, and you can see the breakdown. I believe the coordinator position didn't start July 1st for the first year, and so that's where you see some of the savings, or we underspent. I believe the position started in November. This year, our expenses are going up because we are charging those salaries there for a full year, and so we're projecting higher costs. There's some more materials and supplies, professional learning, and indirect costs for a total of $343,000. So you can see that the trend is that we're underspending this grant. And so we're going to have quite a bit more to spend in its final year. And so what we're going to do to ensure that we spend it all down, right, is when we are putting together our adopted budget, we're going to try to factor in any new spending that we can allocate into this grant for its final year, because it does expire June 30th, 2026. So the plan will be to bring back to you an update of the expenditure plan for review and approval. Any questions so far?
I saw smiles when from some of our team members when you stated that we're underutilizing the grant, which means that there's a little bit more for us to be able to service our students.
Correct.
Music, arts
And-
and music.
And that'll be reflected in that updated expenditure plan.
So, I know that in some of the, not necessarily the high school, maybe the elementary schools, some of what they're using for music is not maybe what the teacher would like.
Up to date. Yeah.
So, is that something that maybe is being considered? Some kind of instruments, because those are like one-time funds, right?
Correct.
It's not continuous, so if we can get some of those instruments that they can use for years and years, that would probably be great.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea to invest in a one-time, with one-time dollars that you can have for maybe 5, 10 years. Certainly, when we get into budget planning, I think these are important conversations for us to have and to engage with the folks that are doing the program planning and see what their needs are, and then we can factor those into an updated expenditure plan.
So that was my main reason for asking for this presentation, to make sure that we are, we have the materials and supplies and everything that the schools need, and there's enough instruments for each of the students that want, because they choose which instrument they want to try.
Yeah.
So if one says, I want to do the drums, but there's not enough drums for everybody, so how do they, so just making sure we have enough, and like Alice said, that will last.
There's no minimal or maximum on arts and or music that's irrelevant.
It's a pretty open grant. So
I forget about the arts part.
Yeah.
I think it allows for creativity for us.
Yeah.
And I think through engagement, at least for our business department, it gives us direction on how to best allocate and maximize these one-time funds, because once they expire, they're gone forever.
Yeah, so for instance, we have, at the high school, we have an arts class, specifically drawing and things of that nature, where I think it's great, but, okay, gotcha.
So just know that we'll have some engagement, some conversation on how to best use these. I'm not gonna say, let's do it all in supplies, or like, I'll take
Right.
feedback and
Yeah, you have to-
take direction, yeah.
Another thing is when you're considering ethnic studies, I don't know if it's, going to maybe someplace where they, what are the 4 different ones that we have to do?
So we have a grant that's specific to the ethnic studies.
So they can be immersed a little bit into that, maybe a day of each somehow. I mean, something that the kids will enjoy and not just read about, hands-on type of things is always, I think, great.
I think these are all great ideas that we'll have to explore and see what our parameters are for spending these dollars. And again, we'll bring an expenditure plan to you for review and approval.
Keep us in mind.
Definitely.
I make the assumption that there is some type of established already engagement with what is needed, right? Since we've already been doing this for, you have last year and this year. So is there an established engagement with the teachers or whoever is on top of that? How does it work? In other words, how is it, are you getting your information?
Generally speaking, and again, this is my second month, but to give you kind of a timeline, January, beginning of the year, should be having some engagement with the different departments,
Okay.
folks that are overseeing specific grants, to have some dialogue, some conversation, to identify needs, obviously to review our actuals on expenditures and to make adjustments so that, number one, we're maximizing the resources and meeting the needs of students. Number two, we're factoring in timelines for spending so that we don't get into situations where we're, gonna buy on things that I'm sure we'll need and you can justify them, but I think to be more purposeful with resources, I think.
Okay.
So starting January is when we would start having conversations about how to spend grant funds and then start building the adopted budget for you to then review in June.
I see.
So it goes, it's a series of months, January, February, March. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Moving on, we move on to 17.0, future meeting dates. 17.1, October 22nd, 2024, and November 12th, 2024. 20.0, closed session items. 20.1, conference with labor negotiation, GC 549576. It is the intent of the board to meet in closed session to review its position, to instruct its designee rep, agency designee representative, Superintendent Mendez, organization FTA, CSEA management. 20.2, public employee, discipline, dismissal, release, complaint, Government Code 54957, and 20.3, Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiator, agency representative, superintendent, underrepresented employee, assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction. At this time, we go into closed session at 8:10. Okay, we go back into open session at 8, look like 56. Quick update. San Diego 6, Dodgers 5, final. Just want to throw that in there, I'm sorry. But anyhow. I'm sorry, sir. But anyhow, moving right along. We go back to the originally when we put on table with 13.5. Under consideration of employment agreement for Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Prior to getting a vote on that, I need to read, this is the item, the board decision and possible approval of an Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instructional Employment Agreement with Eduardo Ochoa. The purpose contract contains the following material item related to the compensation and benefits. 1, the item is for 2 years from October 8th, 2024 to June 30th, 2026, unless terminated early or extended as provided by the item of the agreement or as required by law. 2, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction annual base salary for the 2024-25 school years will be as step 1 of the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction salary, which is $130,104.93, which is prorated based on the days of the 2024-2025 year. 3, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction shall be entitled to an annual step advancement on the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction salary schedule, each succeeding July 1st, until the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction reaches the top step of Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction salary schedule. The salary schedule is as follows. Do I need to read that as well? All right, we're moving right along. Number 4, the Assistant Superintendent Curriculum Instruction shall be afforded the same pay of possession of master's and doctorate degree of other certificated management employee. Currently, the education pay is $1,500 a year for a master's degree and $2,000 for a doctorate degree. The Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction pay for the master's and doctorate degree shall be adjusted if the district changes the pay for other district certificated employee. Following board approval, education pay, if any, shall be paid on a monthly basis. 5, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction is entitled to receive the same health, dental, vision, life insurance benefit from the district insurance benefit provider on the same item and condition as offered to other management level employees. Number 6, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction will have 225 workdays positive work year calendar. 7, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction shall be allocated 12 days of sick leave annually earned at the rate of 1 day per month. The district will not be required to compensate the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction for unused sick leave. 8, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction is provided with the ability to use tax deferred plans for the same item and condition as though plans are made available to other district certificated management and employees. 9, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction shall be provided with annual professional membership dues for 2 professional organizations approved by the superintendent. 10, the board may terminate the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction without cause, but if that right is exercised by the board, the district will pay the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction salary for the period of 12 months of the remainder of the term of the contract, whichever is less. The Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction shall also be entitled to continue participating in a district health and welfare benefit program on the same item and conditions for the remainder of the unexpired term of this agreement, a period of 12 months or until the assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction obtains other employment which provides health benefits, whichever occurs first. This conclusion of the summary of the assistant superintendent and curriculum and instruction contract. A complete copy of the contract is available on the table next to the board door. Okay. So in the way out, you guys can get those. Board President, is there a motion approve Assistant Superintendent Curriculum and Instruction Employment Agreement? Motion to approve Assistant Superintendent Curriculum and Instruction Employment Agreement. Board President, do I have a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? We have a second on the floor. We have a motion by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Alvarez. Board members, you have any discussion? We call for a vote by each member. Mr. Alvarez?
Yes.
Ms. Gomez?
Yes.
Mr. Macareno?
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
And Mr. Vasquez is 5. So the contract is approved, 5-0. Thank you. We move on now to what we discussed in closed session. Closed session item 21.1, Conference of Labor Negotiating GC 54957-6. It is the intention of the board to meet in closed session to review its position and to instruct its designated rep, agency Representative Mr. Mendez, Superintendent, Organization, FTA, and CSEA, and Management. No action taken. 21.2, Public Employee Discipline, Dismissal, Release, Complaint. Government Code 54957, no action taken. 21.3, Government Code Section 54957.6, Conference with Labor Negotiation, Agency Representative Superintendent Mendez, Unrepresented Employee, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Action was already taken on 13.5. We go to 22.0, adjournment at 9:05.
Move. Second.
Motion on the floor in a second. Motion by Mr. Alvarez, correct? And second by Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries 5-0. Meeting adjourned.
All right. Great meeting.